Welcome to the Loyal Opposition Podcast. I'm Bernie Flowers, one of Uncle Sam's wayward children. I believe that our country's best days are still in front of us, but if those best days are to come, we need to change the direction of the country now, before it's too late. I intend to talk about important issues and topics every week in hopes of helping to improve our country and our way of life. Please like, share, and subscribe. Elect me to Congress. I can make a difference for all Americans, and especially Marylanders. Our guest for episode 55 is Miss Tina Pearce. Tina's originally from New York City. She moved to Baltimore a few years ago, and she started her career as a CPR and firearms instructor, of all things. She has a background in martial arts as well, and she's a firearms instructor. Did I mention that? She teaches all areas of self-defense. I met her at the Howard County Gun Show, and I was totally impressed. Of all things, a black woman at a gun show? That's a rare thing. So I asked her to come on to the podcast so you can learn about her too. So without any further ado, Tina, thanks for coming on the show. How are you doing today?
Oh, wow, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, I'm totally impressed, and I want everybody to get to know you. So, got a couple of questions for you. Are you ready to answer?
Oh, yeah, shoot.
Okay. First of all, what made you interested in becoming a firearms instructor?
Well, great question. Growing up, my father is actually a retired NYPD lieutenant.
Ooh.
And since I was little, he used to always train. He's also my martial arts instructor as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he used to take me to the gun range and just show us things and, teach us about firearms and safety. So I always had a love for it. I actually took the police test for Nassau County. My father didn't want me to do it though, because it was at the time when you drove by yourself. There was no other. You didn't have a partner, so he was like, oh, he didn't want his baby girl to do it.
Yeah.
But I always had a love for the understanding of self-defense. I'm a 3rd-degree black belt in martial arts. I do jujitsu and Shotokan.
Oh.
So yeah, I used to teach martial arts for the Board of Education as well in New York City.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Well, I got another question for you. You ready?
Yeah. Yes.
What is your plan to educate kids on gun safety?
Well, right now I'm actually working on a campaign with a few of my other instructors called the SOS, which is the Save Our Sons campaign. And it's going around just talking and educating the parents as well as the kids about gun safety. They could throw their whole life away with this tool, this weapon in their hands, and with the lack of knowledge. And what I realize is a lot of parents are scared to talk to their kids about firearms. Mm-hmm. But what you don't realize as a parent, your kids is not always in your hands. Sometimes they're in schools, they go to people's homes. You have people who are careless with these firearms. So I always believe it starts from home. You give your kids the best foundation. So this campaign that we're doing, we want to go around and give free classes and just educate the kids, because where we're from, guns is like, no way. We didn't want to touch guns, or we got our hands on guns and got ourselves in trouble because of the lack of the knowledge. Mm-hmm. So what I realized is moving to Maryland and becoming a firearms instructor, a lot of their kids already know since they 3, 4, 5. They know how to shoot. They know how to break it down. They know how to load, unload. They know safety. They know the terrors that come with this weapon. So I want to actually go into the Baltimore City area and give that education to our kids as well, so they know, and maybe also save some lives. What really touched me is just recently I saw these 2 kids on Facebook. And they was in the mirror. It was a girl and a boy, and they were cousins. And she picked up this gun, and she had a finger on the trigger. And she said, it's not low. And it went off, and she shot and killed her cousin. And she panicked. They was about 13. She panicked, and she picked the gun up and then killed herself.
Wow.
And it broke my heart, yeah, because right then and there, it was just a lack of knowledge. They just didn't understand. And when we were little, the first thing you gave to your son is the toy gun. So
Yeah.
kids were used to playing with this. So now it's time to really get behind our kids and educate them, and help them emotionally, spiritually, and let them know, listen, this thing right here could change a lot of lives. So my plan is just to start knocking doors and do some tents, throw some classes, and hopefully touch a few people and save a few lives.
Well, what you're bringing to the table is sorely needed, and I hope that we can help.
Thank you.
All right. So I got another question for you.
Shoot,
All right.
I love it.
How does it feel being a female firearms instructor in a male-dominated career field?
Well, it feels amazing because I already had that push that I needed, from my father,
Mhm.
but I see it's intimidating for a lot of women. So to be visible and the voice for females, like when I'm at the gun range, so many females come up to me and like, oh my God, you're a gun instructor, because they don't want to ask questions. Some of the instructors being male is very intimidating. They know a lot. They use all the terminology is correct. Like we know, from being in the hood, people use the word clip, but our terminology, the right correct terminology is only a clip in the rifle. So there's no such thing as the magazine. So it's a lot of difference, dealing with. So when they see a female instructor, it just lets them settle down, and they don't care about asking what they, the crazy questions, or, feeling like they have a lack of knowledge. Some people sometimes don't want to ask because they don't want to feel like they don't know, and it's intimidating. So it feels amazing because I have a lot of female students.
There you go. There's a great need for that. People need to learn how to use weapons because
Yes,
a gun inert doesn't kill people, but when somebody picks it up, you just got to know how to deal with it. But it's a tool. You can build a house with a hammer, or you can kill somebody with it. Same thing.
right. We always say, guns don't kill people, people kill people. And again, I see a lot of unnecessary deaths, not just for people who just want to go out and harm people. I'm talking about the accidental, killings and
Yeah.
stuff that happen. And it's because of a lack of knowledge. We learn a lot of things from the movies, unfortunately.
There you go.
So to be a voice and a face out here teaching people the correct way, as well as self-defense, what you can and cannot do, even as a CCW holder. I seen, unfortunately, I just saw a video yesterday where this gentleman, which was a CCW holder, he had his license, but the police was on, it must have been some type of commotion. The police was there, and he went to just grab his gun to put it in, and they pulled out their firearms on him, and they started yelling at him like, "What are you doing? Just because you have you're a CCW license holder, you can't do it." And they arrested him, and unfortunately, he's going to lose his license.
Fortunately,
So again, but lack of knowledge. So
we got to follow the rules.
we
So
have to follow the rules.
there you go. Can you tell me any more about this Save Our Sons program? That intrigues me.
Well, yes. Well, we're at the very beginning, so we're going to actually be putting out flyers and talking to the community, and hopefully get you involved,
All right.
you and your team, and just see how we can make this as big as possible. Because, like I said, there's a lot of accidental murders with kids, playing with the firearms. So it's just about training and educating. If I could touch 1,000 kids, I would be so grateful, because I don't see it out here in Baltimore City. I don't see anyone teaching. I think that's what's missing is the knowledge,
There you go.
lack of knowledge, so the SOS, to Save Our Sons, is the first thing we want to do to save our daughters, because now there's a lot of females as well, girls getting involved in killings with firearms, and just get their perspective of what they think this is, what kind of information they have on firearms, because sometimes, again, we watch a lot of movies and people just think, oh, let's boom, let me just shoot this and I'm gonna be okay. They don't know what goes along with that. So many people have so many regrets. So
There you go. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing everything that you're going to do, and I so totally support you. So,
thank you.
how can people reach you if they need to?
Oh, well, I have my website, which is www.ctf training, which stands for Citizen Tactical Firearm Training.
Uh-oh.
But that was so long, so it's ctftraining.com.
Outstanding.
Yep,
Outstanding.
and then we're also on all social media platforms, Instagram and at CTF Training as well.
Okay. Well, let's wrap up. Thanks for coming on the
Okay.
show. This
Thank you so much for having me.
this has been quite an education, and you are a very unique person. And as I said before, we're going to spread your name among all our friends and try to get that information out to the city of Baltimore and curtail some of these murders and accidents with firearms. So,
Absolutely. And start in Baltimore, and hopefully we could travel to different places.
there you go. Well,
Thank you.
thank you for all you do. Thank you for having the courage of your convictions. And that's about it. You take care now.
Okay, thank you so much. And you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that's about it for now. This has been the Loyal Opposition Podcast, produced in association with Liberty Arise Media, Fallback Productions, and other podcasters. I ask that you like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. Be sure to get your copy of my book, Black Values Matter, available as an ebook on Amazon, Audible, and Apple Books. And also remember that I'm running for Congress in Maryland's 3rd District. We have the best chance to win in a generation, and I intend to do just that. Check me out at flowersformaryland.com or on most social media. And lastly, it's okay to disagree, but if you want our country to prosper, we must insist on unity, transparency, and civility from ourselves and our fellow citizens. Thanks for listening to the Loyal Opposition Podcast. I'll see you next week.